There we go. Finally did it. That piece that I was talking about, I think I talked about it a couple videos ago. Um, the piece that I needed for my cards so that I could set up my phone without actually having to hold on to it while I was driving came in. So got that hooked up. Let's hope it doesn't fall because it seems pretty sturdy, but my phone's also heavy because I have a case and I have a microphone attached to it. So it was kind of falling a little bit, so I'm not sure if it will stay up the entire time. But we're gonna see. And then I also obviously got the mic attachment that I was talking about beforehand, where because I got the new iPhone, the previous connector cable didn't work. Of course, they love doing that. So that way they sell not just more phones, but they also sell more chargers. They do it like every 4 or 5 years. They when they release a new iPhone, they then release new chargers, new connectors, all that kind of stuff. So you have to waste even more money. Genius marketing. But yeah, I think everything is working. It doesn't seem to be falling, so we are good on that. Today got off to a little bit of a later start. I'm usually done with the gym by now. It's 1:30 right now. Usually on the weekends I'm going to the gym at like 9:30 or 10, so I'm usually done by this point. But I just had some extra stuff to do this morning, which took up some of my time. So getting to the gym a little bit late, but it's not a big deal. It's the weekend, so I don't have to worry about going into work or being able to fit certain things in, which is nice. So 2 meals in right now. Usually when I'm training after work, I'm like 4 meals in, and I have my final meal after I train. Um, but it's really not a big deal. 2 meals is enough for me. Honestly, 1 meal is usually enough for me when I'm training. I actually like to have a little bit less food in my stomach when I train. That way I don't feel like bloated and bogged down when I'm doing my workouts. I also have my intra workout with me, which is Gatorade and EAAs. So in the past, I haven't kept that in while I was dieting. I've used it in the off season, not the EAAs part, but just the carbs, having like a liquid carb source. I've used that in my off seasons, but not to benefit my training per se. It was just because my carbs got to a certain level where it was actually easier to hit my daily intake if I was, having some of those carbs during my workout. So you got to think when you're working out, that actually subtracts like a 3 hour eating window, right? Because you're driving to the gym, warming up, training, maybe doing cardio or steps afterwards, then driving back home. So that whole window you can't eat, where normally maybe you're eating every 2 hours. So by keeping those intra-workout carbs when my carbs were higher, it allows me to get that food in a little bit easier. Now, like I said, I never kept them in during a prep. However, I'm experimenting with it this time around because I did notice during prep last year, especially when my carbs were super low for the last 8 weeks or so, it got so hard to perform in the gym. And honestly, there were times where my performance lacked pretty severely because there was nothing in the gas tank, man. Unless you've prepped, you don't really know the feeling that I'm describing, but you go to push the weight, but there's nothing left in the tank. You can push as hard as you want, and it just doesn't happen. There's no connection with the muscles. You're completely depleted of glycogen. And when you're doing that, day after day, week after week, it eventually starts to eat away your muscle because you're not able to maintain your performance. And also because of the depletion of the muscles, they wither away essentially. I think even if you're still able to hit your weights in the gym, if you're that flat all the time, you're still gonna waste away. So I'm experimenting this time around with keeping the carbs in there, and then on top of that, also keeping EAAs. This is the first time in my life I've ever used EAAs. Trained for 12 years, never used EAAs. Mostly because I think they are a waste of money. However, I think in a prep setting, they can be useful and they can be beneficial. So giving it a try this time around. So all that to say that even though I had 2 meals in, I still have intra carbs and EAAs that I will have in this workout. So that's still going to help me along um, for my performance. Now today, what do I have? Oh, I have back today. Third back day video in a row. I'm just gonna change my channel to the back guy. Today is T-bars. Last week I did 4.25 for my top set, and I want to try 5 plates today. I'm for sure not gonna hit my rep range. My rep range is 8 to 12, but I just want to feel what 5 plates feels like. So I'm gonna do all my warm-up sets, and for my top set, I'm gonna give 5 plates a try. I'm hoping for the 4 to 6 rep range, somewhere within there, and I'll be pretty happy. And then next week I'll drop it back down to the 4.25 and kind of work my way back up. But I just want to feel what 5 plates feels like. There's really no rhyme or reason for it other than I just want to feel that 5 plates in my hands and touch it, feel what that feels like, kind of experience that weight, and then I'll work my way back up to it. Before I do that, I'm going to do my usual starter, which is the unilateral pull down. Now, last week I did unilateral pull down on the cable, which I really enjoyed, so I'm going to go ahead and do that again. I've been using the Cybex pull down for a little while, and I still use that on a regular basis, but last week the cable just felt really good, so I'm going to go ahead and do the cable again today, give that a try to start off. So it's going to be unilateral cable pull down, T-bar row, then unilateral cable row, and then what is it? I think it's a straight bar pull down. I'll have to check my Excel sheet, but it's a straight bar pull down or a neutral grip pull down, one of those, and then I have 4 sets of biceps after that and some calves. So that's going to be the full session. I have the mic, so I'm going to walk you guys through it, or at least kind of show you what I'm doing in there, and this time I'll be mic'd up so I won't have to have a voiceover. But just got to the gym right now, gonna get into my warm-up sets, and I'll see you guys in my first working set. Alright, so going into my first working set now. Warm-ups were flying, so pretty excited about this. Feels really good. Now, I meant to bring my gym pin in, but I forgot it at home along with, I was throwing a bunch of stuff in my bag, and I told myself I need to bring my gym pin today. Then I totally forgot it, of course. So stacked a couple of these little rubber weights on here. I would have liked to add more, but this is all I'm going to be able to add for today. So last week I did the stack without that weight, so this is still a progression. And honestly, this feels really good, so I'm excited to get into this set. And I forgot, need my wraps, man. I'm gonna throw these on real quick, then I'll get into the set. Yep. Whoop. recorded that from the wrong angle. Oh well, whatever. Don't really care. So, gonna move the bench over, take a little break here, then I'll go into the next set. But that one right there was really, really good. I got more reps than I got last week, and there's 10 pounds added on there. So, man, overall, yeah, I just think today is gonna be a really good workout. Sometimes you can just tell those workouts, like when the warm-ups are just flying right off the bat and everything feels really good, you usually know it's going to be one of those days where just everything feels great, all the weights feel light, and those are just the best days in the gym. Yep. Oh. Yeah, so I'm going to do another set here at this weight. Okay, so second set, like I said, going to be the same weight, starting with the left side because I started with my left side before. Always start with my left side with these type of movements because my left side is my weaker side. So I want to make sure that whatever I do with my left, I do with my right. Whereas if I do it the opposite way, I may get reps with my right that I can't get with my left. So the discrepancy between muscle gets even worse, right? Like imagine if you did one more or two more reps on your right side every session for 2 years. There would be a difference in muscle growth there. So that's why I start with my weaker arm. Also, second set, like I said, same weight. Going for the same rep range, 8 to 12. Overshot the rep range last time, but I feel like I'll fall into it this time, or maybe just be slightly above, which, like I said, as long as you're doing a hard set, it doesn't really matter. Oh, yeah, that was good. So, wait a second again, and then I'll go into my right side and look to match those 12 reps. So, talk about this all the time, but I'm really trying to just dig my elbow into my side, into my hip joint. That's all I'm really thinking about, dragging the elbow down into there. All right, 2 really good sets there. So next 2 sets are going to be a little bit higher rep range, 12 to 15 rep range. So I'm going to lower the weight, probably take those little rubber 5s off and then put it 1 pin down. So that'll take me from 160 to 140, and I'll aim to get both of my sets, my next 2 sets, within the 12 to 15 rep range using that weight. Okay, time for the third set. my lats are already really lit up, so this is a really good session. And honestly, when you're working your lats, you should really feel that within the first couple sets. Like, you should feel some really good activation in there. If you're not, there's likely something off about your form, or maybe you're using too heavy of a weight. But yeah, you should really be feeling it by the time you get to your third set. Oh, okay. One more set left. Oh. Okay, last set. One more quick tip here is I see a lot of people pronate their grip when they come up to the top. Don't do that. Stay in a neutral grip the entire time. Pronating, it's impossible to work your lat that way, okay? I shouldn't say impossible, but you're not going to get the most out of your lat when you're coming down here and you're letting it pronate at the top. Keep it neutral the entire time. Keep everything in the lat. That's why you're doing this exercise. You're not doing it for any other reason. Yep. Oh. All right, 4 really good sets. Gonna go warm up on the T-bar and see what I can do with 5 plates. All right, here we go. Time to give 5 plates a run.
So, not the best set. But like I said, I just wanted to touch this weight. I know I'm not ready for it based on what I did last rotation with 4 plates and a quarter. But I'll count that as 4 reps. I have to look back on the tape to see if it's actually 4 reps. But overall, I'm pleased because what I really want to do is just touch that weight. I'll back it down to 4 plates, do my next set there. So second set here, same, I'm aiming for the 8 to 12 rep range. One of the positive things about that 5 plate set before, even though I didn't hit the rep range right, is that this set is gonna feel pretty light, removing a whole plate from the T-bar. So I'm gonna strap in, see what I can do. Oh. Alright, so got one more set left. I'm gonna drop this down to 3 1/4 and then see if I can hit the 12 to 15 rep range. Alright, third and final set right here. Like I said, 12 to 15 rep range. See what I can do with this. Oh. At the end of those sets, you see, I just sit in the stretch for a little bit. Nothing special, but it just feels good. I've talked about it before, but if you guys know anything about Dante Trudell, it's like stretching under load. Now his is actually programmed into the program, but I just do mine on a lot of back movements, and I also don't do it to the degree that he does. I believe they're like 60-second holds or more in the lengthened position under significant loading. So as you can see, I just did like, I don't know, 10 seconds at the end of each set, maybe that. But I'm gonna take the weights off here and then get into the next exercise, which is gonna be, I can't even think right now, unilateral row. Alright, so I'm on to unilateral rows here. This is 3 sets, 12 to 15 rep range. By this time in the workout too, I'm like halfway through my intra workout that I talked about in the car. So I'm just sipping on that pretty much after every set or every other set. And I'll finish it probably by the time I have like one workout left. So by the time I get to biceps, I'll probably be done with that. But gonna get into my first working set here. Same principle applies. It applies on that lat pull down, or sorry, the unilateral pull down. I'm really trying to drive my elbow into my side here. Oh, that felt good. So again, rest a little bit and then I'll go into my left side. Yep. Oh. No. Woo. One set left. Alright, so done here. Now I have 3 sets, I think it's 3 sets, of a straight bar pull down. So I'll see you guys over there. Alright, so last week I did 165, but I think that was a little too heavy, so I'm gonna go back to 150 and see what that feels like. This is 3 sets in that 8 to 12 rep range. Yep. Alright, now those last reps were a little sloppy, but that's okay because majority of the set was really good. I felt really good doing that, so I'm gonna do another set here at this weight. Alright, so that set was slightly sloppier than the last set, or the first set, so I'm gonna go a little bit lighter on my third set, and then I'll be it for back. Alright, last set for back. Gotta make it count. They all count, but you know what I mean. Alright, time to hit some arms. So, unilateral preacher curl, 4 sets here, like 10 to 20 rep range. I usually hit near the top of the rep range on this, and then it just falls down as I do more sets, just titrates down towards the bottom end of the rep range. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The more and more I do this machine, the more it feels better, and I'm convinced that it works better if you don't try to reach the absolute peak contraction here. What I mean by that is taking this and coming like all the way up here. Because when you're going that high, you're really just giving yourself these small little breaks at the top where you're not actually keeping any tension on the bicep because gravity's just directly over you. So I've been finding that if I go to about here, which looks like I still have a lot more range of motion, this is still a fully contracted bicep for me, and I feel the tension way more. and I get way bigger pumps. Everything just feels better about it. So if you notice that I'm doing that during this exercise, that's why. I don't really rest in between these sets just because it's biceps. Don't really need to. Alright, 3 sets left. Man, I already feel a pump in my biceps. It's kind of like when I was doing the lat pull down when I started the workout. I was like 1 set in, 2 sets in, I could already feel it. Same thing here. Whew. Didn't really give myself long enough break, so lost a few reps. So I'll rest a little bit longer on that next set for set number 3. Oh, that hurts. Oh man. I went from never caring about arms to being like desperate to grow my arms. But it's because I lifted for like almost 10 years with no desire to compete, so I never really worked arms because they're really boring. But now I gotta get big arms. Oh man, I don't know. I feel like it's just me because I feel like so many people love training arms, but I hate training arms. They're so boring to me. There's like no excitement in it. But because I never prioritized arms throughout my entire training career, my arms they're not behind in my physique because my physique is pretty balanced, but they need to come up a lot. I think in order to really give me the look that I want on stage. So until then, I'm gonna keep prioritizing arms and trying to grow them. I need 20s, 21s, 22s, somewhere in that range. I feel like I have like 16s probably. All right, one more set here. Going into my final set here. I'll be honest, I'm too lazy to change the weight, so I'm gonna fall underneath the rep range that I'm aiming for, but whatever. Don't really care. Oh. Oh, okay. So that's it for arms and for back. I have abs, calves, and cardio, but you guys don't need to see that. So I'm gonna do all that, and then I'll see you guys in the car. All right, so just wrapped up with my cardio. Did my abs and calves before that. Overall, really good workout, really good session today. Can't complain about anything. Felt really strong, really good. Gonna go home now. I'm behind on meals because of what I explained earlier, where I just had some stuff to do in the morning. So usually, if I get to the gym by 1, like I was here, I would have 3 meals in, but I'm only at 2. So what I'm going to do is combine my next 2 meals. So meal 3 and meal 4, I'm just going to eat together. And look, if I was full blown off season, there's no way I could do that. I'd be way too full. But where I'm at in prep right now, doing that is a breeze. It's it's hard by no means. So that's what I'll do. Combine those 2 meals, and then I'll have my last meal probably around 7:30 or something. So it's 4:30 right now. So that means I'll have like probably 2 hours or so before I eat that 5th meal. Oh my God, can't even see out my windshield. So I watched back some of the clips. Unfortunately, my mic, it adjusted itself. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe I hit the button when I was setting it up, but it hit the button to like increase the sensitivity. So it was peaking too loud, and it was also picking up a lot of ambient noise. So this right here should sound better because I adjusted it, but yeah, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna see if I can sort of edit the sound
out or down a little bit when I go to upload and edit this. But yeah, apologies in advance for the audio quality of this one. It should be addressed now that I found that out. So I'm going to record my leg day tomorrow, and that should sound a lot better. If it doesn't, I'll have to kind of look into maybe changing the settings in my phone or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll have to do some research if it turns out that tomorrow's mic quality also isn't that great. Because when I used to record to this mic, the sound quality was really good, and I think it's just because the sensitivity got picked up or got increased. So I'm gonna hope that's what it is. I'll probably layer maybe a little bit of music or something over the lift so that the ambient noise isn't so oppressive or noticeable. But yeah, overall, good back workout. Happy that I got this connector for the mic and everything. I've been waiting on it for a little bit. The shipping kind of took a while. And then I went to record yesterday actually for my workout, and the mic was dead. I hadn't used it for so long that the battery just died, which is weird to me because most things, when you power them off, they don't decay. Like if you fully charge your laptop and you turn it off, or you fully charge your phone and you turn it off, and then you turn it on a week later, the power's gonna be the same as when you turn it off. But this little Rode mic, I guess, it just decays. So I hadn't used it for so long. It was fully charged the last time I used it, and then I go to turn it on yesterday. It's just completely dead. And I was like, yeah, there goes that. Man, so I feel like I should maybe talk a little bit about prep, but I feel like I'm not that far into prep to even warrant discussing it, really. Overview, though, is it's going really well. Last prep started out kind of like, I don't want to say a nightmare because that's like an overreaction, but last prep was pretty rough in terms of how low my calories had to go, how much cardio I had to do, how much output I had to do. And that's usually just not the case for me. Not that I don't have to eat like low amounts of food and kind of do high outputs and stuff like that, but this was way more than I usually do, and it was like a struggle to peel the weight off. For example, the first 6 weeks of prep, I started at 0 cardio, and we got all the way up to 5 sessions of 40 minutes within that first 6-week period. 0 weight loss. I was literally doing, how much cardio is that per week? That's like 3 hours of cardio. No, almost 4 hours of cardio a week. 0 weight loss. And I'm talking about 0. I started at like 202, and 6 weeks later, with all that cardio included, I was like 201. Yeah, so 6 weeks of that, when you have a show date. Now, if you're just trying to lose weight in general, that doesn't matter. Not losing weight for 6 weeks, whatever, readjust, find out what's wrong. But when you have a deadline to meet, you just threw away 6 weeks. Now you're 6 weeks behind. And when you're 6 weeks behind in a prep, man, you have to start doing way more drastic stuff, right? So that kind of led to the rest of the prep just being way harder than it should have been. So with this prep, everything has been right on point. Like, the weight loss has been just as you would expect it to be. And I'm feeling good, still progressing my lifts in the gym. So everything on that front is really good. I'll probably dive deeper into what I'm doing for prep and what my meals look like, what cardio steps, all that kind of stuff looks like as I get deeper into it, closer to the show or closer to the shows. Probably also do some physique updates when my physique actually looks respectable. Right now, it's still it's still not pretty. It's not something you want to look at, not something you want to show off. Um, that's just how my body fat stores work. I store like a ton of fat in my midsection and lower back, which kind of messes up my taper in the off season anyways, because every time I diet down, that fat comes off. But you'll see like my extremities, and you can probably see when I'm lifting too, my extremities are very lean. um, when you only see my forearms, like I've had people ask if I'm close to a show when I'm like full blown off season, because my forearms stay super lean, my face doesn't really get fat, and even my calves will have veins and stuff like that. So it's like all my fat just goes right into the middle. Um, so all that being said, it's my physique doesn't really start to look like a respectable bodybuilder until that fat starts to come off. I think my waist is somewhere around the 26 to 28 inches when I'm fully contest ready. And for reference, I'm just a bit under 5'10". I think I'm like 5'9.7" or something. Um, so that ratio is actually pretty good. Someone of that height with a waist that small. It's just that when I'm in the off season, my waist is like a 32 or a 33. So it just stores a ton of fat. Um, the lower back too. So like when you see me from behind, like I am soft, but that cleans up really nicely as well. So almost home right now. Gonna get those 2 meals in. Like I said, I think Heidi and I are gonna watch a movie. Not sure which one we're gonna watch. I chose the last one, so she'll choose this one. We kind of go back and forth like that. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap the video up right here, and I will catch you guys for leg day tomorrow.